G'day, Brocky from Window Cleaning World. Here we have an X-Ion mini RO system. This is heading out to a customer, so I'm just testing it, make sure everything is good before it leaves. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to make a video and show you how to operate this unit. Here on the side we have the main inlet, bypass. This is our main, this is the bypass. This is the waste outlet, and this is the purified water. So you want to have either this one open and this one closed, or this one open and this one closed for operation. So if you're having the water come out here, it's going through the RO membranes, which the water goes up this one, comes across, goes down through this one, and then goes through the 2-litre DI canister on the front. If you have this one turned this way, so blocked off, and this one open, this will bypass the DI, so it just goes RO only. You won't get 100% purified water out of here, but you may get water that's clean enough for solar panel cleaning, or instances where you don't need completely zero TDS water. They all have valves on them, so you can shut them off when you're storing it in the car. And here you'll just want to use either a block off or a lead hose to seal that one up. So I'll just turn it around and we'll have a look at the back. We have a nice extendable handle here that can extend down as well to be more compact in the car. We have a single pre-filter on the back here. This is a carbon chloramine reduction filter, which then goes into the SureFlow pump, 107 PSI. We have a TDS meter here, which measures right here before it gets to the pump, and that measures the TDS before it's filtered. And then you've got another probe there for measuring the TDS after it's been through the DI canisters. So you'll want to use a handheld TDS to check the water coming out of the DI canister. We like to keep things as compact as possible here, and putting a third probe into the system can complicate things a little bit and just be a little bit overkill. So it's always good to have a handheld TDS meter for checking TDS levels. And then we have 2 gauges on the back here. This is for the purified water. This one here is for the waste. And we control the flows with this knob here. So I'm gonna get it all hooked up now and get some water running through it and show you how it runs. And this here is the Anderson plug for powering the pump. Okay, so we've got it plumbed up. We've got water running through it. Nice short hose from the tap. I got my battery hooked up as well. It's not on at the moment. Sorry about the background noise. We've got Mr. Ice Cream driving around. So yeah, we've got some water coming through into our inlet. We've got purified water coming out of here and our wastewater coming out there. So I'll turn this TDS meter on and hit in. That is the reading, 100 ppm, reading right here. So the water's coming in, going through this chloramine reduction filter. This will not bring down the ppm. This is to remove any chloramine, any chlorine, any sediment, any rust that is that may be in your water source. So also, if you're wondering what this is a heat sink on the pump. These just clip on. They're going to really help keep the pump cool in warmer climates. So we can see here that this valve is all the way up because the water's basically all going to waste at the moment. If we had a look at the water coming out of the purified side there, you'd have basically nothing coming out. So we're essentially about to divert some of the water. Instead of going to waste, it's going to be going to the pure side. So what we'll do is turn the battery on. You can hear the pump start running there. Now it's really not loaded up yet because there's really no pressure, but as we decrease this, I'm turning clockwise, we're going to see this float here start to come down, and then eventually this one is going to start coming up as we start producing more purified water. Now it'll take a little bit for the system to pressurize, You can hear the pump working harder now. And we've got a nice flow going now, so we've got about 2 litres per minute on the waste side, the right hand gauge. About 2.5 litres a minute of purified water. That's just humming along there. Now, talking about setting that gauge and where you need to set it at, the best way to set this all up is to get this hooked up, have your hose reel if you're using one, your pole tube, your brush, your pole, have everything set up and have the water flowing through it. And then you want to have the brush or the pole near you when you're adjusting this. So you want to adjust it by the flow that you have coming out of your brush. Now, if you're new to this, you don't need just absolutely tons of water flowing out of the brush. If there's too much pressure, there's jets of water coming out, what can happen is the water is coming out so fast that it hits the glass and just bounces off. And at that point, you're really just wasting water. So what you want to have like a nice flow coming out the brushes, out of the nozzles from your brush. And that way you can just get a nice rinse. You're not wasting water. You're being really effective and using your water conservatively, because you are paying to create that purified water. So basically you want to see your brush, see the water flowing out of it. If you're using a hose reel, make sure that your hose is completely unwound off the hose, because that can create a back pressure. And really the whole game with RO systems is you want to basically have a setup that has the least amount of back pressure. Your pump's going to last longer, your membrane's going to last longer, everything can flow a lot easier and just work really well for you. So again, get your brush set up so you can see it, you can see the flow coming out of the bristles, and start winding down that valve until you get a nice flow of purified water coming out of your brush. And if you end up at a point where, you know, this waste valve is at 3 litres a minute and this is at 2 litres a minute, but you've got really nice flow coming out of your brush, then awesome. You don't need to be making the maximum amount of purified water, because the more that you crank this down, the less water you have going to waste. So when I'm cranking this down here, you can hear the pump starting to work harder. And you always need a flow of waste. This always needs to have a flow of waste water coming out of it. If we had this one open, you'd see there's still water coming out of that connection there, because the RO membranes need to be continually flushed as you're working. If they're not being flushed, if the waste is completely blocked off, you'll be making lots of purified water, but your membranes are getting clogged up with those impurities that you're filtering out, especially in high TDS areas like in South Australia and Western Australia and other parts. So you always need to have a flow of wastewater. You never want to block off the waste completely. Otherwise, it's just going to really shorten the life of your two membranes there. And with proper use, at each job having enough wastewater coming out, those membranes should last you 2 to 3 years. So at the end of the job, you've cleaned all the windows you need to do. What you should do is come here, open up this waste valve, and what we're looking for, probably missed it here, but the wastewater, you can see it coming down. This would have been up at about 200, and it's quickly coming down back closer to 100. Now the supply water is, if I go to line 3, so the supply water going into the unit is 100, and this is the wastewater. Look, the wastewater is actually even cleaner than the water going into it. So this is really good. We know the membrane has been flushed enough. So you know that at the end of the job, if your wastewater coming out is the same or less than the water going into the unit, your membranes are flushed enough. Now after a big day of cleaning, that might take longer than it did just there, but this is a brand new unit. So just open that up. That's nice and open now. I can shut my pump off. And basically I can shut the water off now. can disconnect all my hoses, shut all my valves off, leave it full of water, use a block off or a lead hose just to block that there. You can store it in your van, you can store it laying down. You just want to make sure you block off the inlets and outlets so you're not leaving or leaking water anywhere. So that is a pretty quick video showing how to use the Exion Mini. We'll have new videos coming out soon showing how to replace the membranes on these. So keep an eye out for that. If you have any questions, you can always leave a comment below. The quickest way to get in contact is always to give us a call or send us an email at the shop. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.